Hi everyone, welcome. I actually can't see who's behind the screen, so I'm just gonna assume. I know that Ying was gonna be here, Steph, Laetitia, Elsa, Colleen, Amandine. So yeah, maybe I'm forgetting some people, but whoever is joining, thank you so much for being here. And so just to give you a bit of an idea of what's going to happen. So I'm just going to share for the next 25 minutes or so a little bit of an overview of what the small things is. And Sarah, who's a project coordinator in the organization in Tanzania, is going to join to also give you a bit of her vision and perspective on it. And we'll share also heaps of super cute videos so you can have firsthand a better idea of the amazing work that they're doing there. And then we're going to transition to a yoga class and on some African tunes. I hope that you have a way to make that work. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time for being here. We have people in France and people here in Australia. My Wi-Fi is actually down here in Sydney, which is really weird. So I hope everything is going to be working okay with my phone. So I volunteered in Tanzania last October for about a month, and I just fell in love with the small things and the amazing work that they're doing in the north part of Tanzania. I was living at the daycare, so it's one of the community projects that they're running. And I was on a day-to-day basis assisting the teachers and with organizing some activities for the young ones that are like from 2 to 4 and up to like the preschool activities as well. So and playing songs and teaching them counting and things like that. I also organized a couple of yoga classes, so you may have seen some of the photos in the introduction video. I ran some mindfulness training for the staff because I'm sure you can imagine, running an organization, taking care of children all day could be quite taxing. Yeah, it was just kind of an extra pair of hands, and I just fell in love with the community there. I felt so welcome and so at home that it's been really hard when I had to leave, and I just really wanted to keep support the amazing work that they're doing while I'm back here in Sydney. So I'm, as most of you know, I'm a yoga teacher on the side, and all the money that I'm making from yoga, I'm donating to the organization. And there's been a lot happening in the past couple of months with some very heavy rains and also obviously the pandemic that is hitting Tanzania now as well. There's a lot of emerging needs, and I just wanted really to be able to support the organization in these times, hence why I'm running all of these little events. So I'm hoping that with the content that we'll share, you'll be able to better appreciate the connection that I've made with the organization, and also appreciate the amazing work that they're doing, and hope that you can support them as well in any contribution that you can make. Yeah, so let's just have a little video just to kind of give you a little glimpse of the mamas and the kids playing around before we introduce you to Sarah. Welcome. Awesome. So this is Sarah.
Hi.
Hello. Sarah is a project coordinator at the Small Things, and she's been an amazing rock while I was there in Tanzania. She's been living there for many, many years, and she was teaching me some Swahili as well to make sure I was blending in the community. And she's just become a really amazing friend since then. So I'm going to get her to introduce you to what the organization is about. So over to you.
Great. Thanks so much, Mailys, for welcoming me. As most of you guys know, Mailys is a dream. She's so kind and so lovely and has such a calming effect. So we're excited to be doing this today with Mailys. So I'm here coming to you from Arusha, Tanzania. I'm a little bit down from the Children's Village, since our Children's Village, to give you an update, is kind of on quarantine. But to go over kind of our overarching projects and programs that we do at TST, our main goal is really trying to keep families together. So in Tanzania, there's a lot of poverty. HIV prevalence is a lot higher, which resulted in a lot of deaths of basically a large proportion of a generation a little while ago, which kind of led to this increase in needs for orphan and vulnerable children. So that's kind of where TST came in a while back. And so we really try and work to keep kids with their families as much as possible through three main programs. So our first program is our family preservation program. And I kind of see this as our defensive line, right? This is trying to keep kids with their families as quickly and as easily as possible. So what we do here is provide families who are in need. Perhaps they go to the village council or they go to the social welfare office. And they ask for assistance, and we help with business development support, we'll help with school fees, we'll help to do everything in our power, working with the local government and with their families and relatives to get kids to stay at home if it's possible, right? So a lot of the things that we see mostly of kids trying to go, families trying to get their kids into orphanage care, it tends to be because of poverty. So we really want to kind of fight against that and make sure that kids get to stay home with their families. Of course, there are times when that's not possible, right? So we have family-style homes as a children's village, Happy Family Children's Village, where we host about 40 children. And this is kind of seen as the last resort, and we really try and focus on attachment-focused homes. So trying to create a family for the kids. There's 3 houses. Each house has about 10 kids and 2 mamas and a student teacher in each house, 2 caregivers and a student teacher, so that they really feel like they're brothers and sisters and living together as a family as much as they can. And then lastly, we have some community service projects that we do. So we run a daycare center where Mailys was talking about. It's also where we have some volunteer rooms. So she had the pleasure of staying, I think, in the cheetah room or the zebra room. Yeah, the zebra room. And it's also where we host, it's an English medium daycare. So kids get to learn English early, and it's a place for their parents to have childcare so that they can get back to work. So we work with some vulnerable families. We work with families in the community that can pay full price. We do kind of a sliding scale, and there's about 50 students, ages 2 to 6 or so, to get them prepared for primary school. And then kind of off of our daycare, we have a cool vocational studio where we help empower youth from around the community who want to learn how to make a business out of their artwork, right? So learning how to make jewelry, learning how to make baskets, learning how to sew, make all these different amazing crafts that then they sell on the weekends. It's a really cool program. And then we do other types of community relief projects. Like recently, we just built a large tank of water to help during the dry spells. So the water goes up to the Children's Village. We have a huge rainwater collection site. And then it also gets to some of the houses in the area around the Children's Village too. And then we have our big community tutoring program, which is on every Saturday, where we have about 150, if not 200 kids who come up to get some extra help outside of school. And then lastly, what I think is the coolest, and I'm also a member of one of these, is our microfinance programs, which is basically like these loan sharing groups. So everyone comes in and they throw some money in every week, and you pull your money together, and at the end of the month, you can take out a loan. So it's really fun, and it can allow you to make some really big changes. But for, some of our most vulnerable populations, and we have 15 of these BCOBA groups, it allows them to send their kids to school. It allows them to buy something like a cow, make a huge investment in their work and in their business. So yeah, that's kind of an overview of our programs. I don't know, Mailys, if I missed anything.
No, very comprehensive. But we're going to show you a little video so you can see what the Happy Family Children's Village looks like. Yeah, Becca, the founder, is going to.
Here we are at Happy Family Children's Village. We are a group of small family-based homes for orphan and vulnerable children, built in honor and loving memory of Amir Vizram, who's the father of the founder of Happy Family Organics, the company that helped us to build this incredible home for all of our children. Right now, with coronavirus happening, we've got a lot of extra precautions in place. We've got these hand sanitizing and hand washing stations everywhere. And with the help of a lot of our incredible donors, we've been able to put in rainwater collection so that the taps never go dry. We're so grateful for your help with that. We're here at the Children's Village in total lockdown. It's very intense, but it's a pretty beautiful place to be stuck if you've got to be here for months at a time. So in order to keep everybody safe here, we've set up hand washing stations everywhere. Nobody is in and out except for my family, and we are also isolated from the broader community. And instead of the usual 40 kids and about 10 staff, we've got about 50 kids and 30 staff all living here right now. So every single nook and cranny is filled. Let's go check out the kids in their homeschool. Here we are outside the Children's Village homeschool, which is set up in what will in future be our preschool buildings. So for now, we've got 8 or 9 grades all squished into our space. We have a couple of outside tents, and then we have some of the middle-aged kids in here. So let's take a peek in quietly, try not to bother them. Hi. Hi, Watoto Wazuri. Yeah. Can you guys say hi to the camera? Say hi, everyone. Hi. Okay. We've had like a 9-month rainy season going here in East Africa. You've probably heard about floods in other countries. We've been pretty lucky so far, but it's definitely getting interesting here. Along the back, you can see we have some areas where the mud has started to go down. We really need to pave this entire area now that we've got the water, the rainwater collection system, which is just down here. We had to remove some of the dirt and earth as well. So again, every day we find some new little project that needs to be done, but that's life with kids. Part of our crazy rainy season, just about a week and a half ago, we had a minor landslide here. Where one of our retaining walls got so wet, the weight behind it got so severe that it came down. We were able to re-secure it in place and put some better supports in, but it's been a crazy year, and we're really grateful for all your support. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Safi. Bye.
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 Vanessa. 1, 2, 4, 10. Just skip to 10. 6, 8, 10.
So cute.
A little inside look of what the Children's Village looked like today.
Yeah, exactly. So as Sarah was mentioning in her introduction, really trying to, in the Children's Village, the kids live as they were in a family. So there's the caregivers who we call the mamas that are, like really taking care of the kids on a day-to-day basis. And we also have a little video so that they can talk to you in their own words how they care for the kids. And yeah.
Jina langu ninaitwa Rosina. Niko hapa kama Niko hapa TST kama mama mlezi wa watoto. Nitaongea kwa habari ya Vincent na Vanessa. Hawa watoto wamekuja kwa kweli wakiwa na hali mbaya sana. Walikuwa wadogo kiasi kwamba mimi mwenyewe nilikuwa ninaogopa hata kuwashika. Vincent alikuwa akilia, ninaogopa kabisa, nikamfananisha na mnyama fulani lakini sitasema. Tukawatunza vizuri, tukawapa matunzo mazuri sana na upendo. Wakawa na hali nzuri kiafya. Wakaendelea vizuri kabisa. Lakini kwa sasa pia wanaendelea vizuri sana 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 kuliko mwanzo. Ninafurahi sana kwa sababu kwa sasa wana afya nzuri, wanacheza vizuri, na wenyewe pia kwa kweli wanajua kabisa kwamba wanapendwa. Kwa hiyo hata ile kupendwa inawafanya wanaendelea kuwa na afya nzuri na furaha. Na mimi pia ninafurahi sana kwa sababu wana afya nzuri na wanaendelea vizuri kwa kweli. Ninafurahi sana. Mwisho ninasema bye, asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza.
Mimi ni Mama Ruti, nina mume mmoja na watoto 4. Mimi nafanya kazi Children Village. Pia nafanya nyumba ya watoto wadogo, nyumba ya 3. Pia tumekaa hapa miezi miwili kwa ajili ya hili janga la corona, kwa ajili ya kuangalia watoto, usalama wao na sisi pia. Pia tunamshukuru Beka maana anajali pia familia zetu.
Amazing. So as I mentioned in the introduction, there's and I don't think I mentioned this. The organization really relies on private donations and grants to function and operate. Like they don't really have any federal funds to support them. So Sarah is going to kind of introduce you to a couple of needs that have emerged in the environment of the corona at the moment, and give you a sense of like how much money can contribute to something really, really tangible. She's just going to share a couple of examples. Thanks, Sarah.
Oh, that's great. Thanks so much, Mailys. Yeah, so here at the Small Things, it's literally called the Small Things. So every donation counts. We get a lot of different funding streams, but a lot of our donations or a lot of our funding is based on individual donations, like Mailys said. So I just wanted to go through and talk about a few different needs that if you felt compelled to give today, something where your money would be going to, right? So one of our first funded needs is just buying shirts for 5 children with about $50 Australian dollars. You can buy shirts for 5 different children. Right now, it's really dangerous for us to go to the used clothes market where we usually go to buy clothing for our kids. But to be honest, it's been a few months now and the kids really need some new clothes. So we're hoping to buy some brand new shirts for the kids, which will be great. So $50 there can go a really long way. One of the other needs that we have is for right now, obviously our mamas have been sacrificing so much. You just met them, but they've been staying up at the Children's Village now for about 10 weeks, away from their own families. So one of the things that they asked for, when we asked, how can we support you best during this time, is that they really wanted just these food baskets, right? So in honor of Mother's Day, we put together some of these food baskets that we would like to help fund, which will go to the mama's families for their kids, and if they have husbands or whichever, which includes like rice, beans, cooking oil, sugar, tea leaves, sanitizer, and masks too for the whole family, so they can protect themselves and stay prepared during this time. I think Tanzania is going to see a pretty big economic hit at some point, just like everywhere else in the world. So we want to make sure that everyone that is in our community is prepared to handle that. And so again, kind of jumping off of this too, with the amount of time that the mamas have sacrificed, they have sacrificed so much staying up at the Children's Village that we needed to increase their salaries to compensate for that. So for about 125 Australian dollars, you can cover the difference in their salary. which is a really great way to kind of get connected. And like you've seen a little videos, but we'd be happy to kind of see if they'd be interested in talking to you guys more too, if that were ever an interest. One of the biggest funded needs that I'm really passionate about, and I've donated myself to, is to empower some seamstresses to make masks. So Mama Priska is one of the mamas of one of our daycare children, and she's in our family preservation program. I think she graduated last year from our full business program and classes. But now she is a seamstress and a tailor. So right now, just kind of, there's not a lot of people buying new clothes necessarily, but masks are huge, right? Everyone needs a mask. And each mask can be made for about $1 or so. So if you can donate about $200, we'll make about 200 masks for the community. And then we've been collecting these masks and then distributing them to more vulnerable families, along with education materials and sanitizers when we can. And so something else you can do, which kind of jumps off of this, is seeding a small business. Last year for Giving Tuesday back in November and December, if any of you have followed us before, you saw that we did a huge campaign to try and fundraise to support 30 families. So last year we had 30 outreach families that we supported by building up their small business and helping with different things like medical and transportation fees as well. But a lot of our families in our family preservation program, they really, to keep their kids and their families, all they need is a little bit of help, right? Anywhere from $100, $200, $300 to really get themselves off their feet and start a small business that then they can keep sustainable. So this might be by helping to take care of a cow, by getting a sewing machine, by getting clothing stock that they can sell, by getting 20 chickens. A lot of people, we have this one story of this wonderful woman, Mama Max, who Mailys has met too, and she kind of went from living in a small shack about 10 years ago when we first met her, and now she has built a whole house and sent her kids to college after receiving a very small startup grant of 20 chickens, so that she could, really get her businesses off the ground. And a lot of people do more than one business. So it's not like someone just has a cow and that's their whole business. It's they have a cow, they have a farm, they have avocado trees, they have chickens, and perhaps they, sell jewelry or shoes on the side as well. So with $300, you can really, really make a huge impact to the family in need and keep a child at home. And then lastly, something that we have, if a lot of people find that it's really fun to stay connected with our community, and one of the ways to do that is by sponsoring a child. So Mailys, maybe you want to talk a little bit about your sponsorship with Heaven Light. Heaven Light's been at TST for the last 3 years or so. She's about 3.5. She came when her mother passed away in childbirth. About 3 years ago, but now she's this big kid and she's gorgeous, and Mailys has chosen to sponsor her too.
Yeah, so I met her in the daycare because she's was in the class with the small kids, and yeah, I don't know, like she was kind of always coming over onto my lap and hanging out. And there's this one day where she actually peed on me, and I got told that it was actually a blessing. So I'm like, great. And there's a couple of pictures of us together that was in the video at the beginning, or even the one that is on my page. That's Heaven Light that I'm holding, and she's just the sweetest and kindest, and I just feel so like it just feels so tangible to be able to connected to one kid in particular. And there's someone at TSC Josh that is looking after all the sponsorship, and he shares pictures all the time of the kids and to their sponsors, so you really, really feel connected to them. So yeah, it's a really beautiful way to be able to support.
Yeah, that's great. And with the sponsorships too, once a child gets reunified, one of our biggest goals as soon as the child comes into care at Happy Family Children's Village is to try and get them home to their families. So Mailys, I know you were there one of the days that her father came to visit and her whole family. I think it was one of the first days that you were at TST. Yeah. I'm not sure if you remember, but Yeah, so even after a child is reunified, the sponsorship really goes to help to support the child's education, because once a child goes home and we reunify them with their family, we continue to pay for school fees, we continue to help the family in different ways that they do. They basically enter into our family preservation program. So any kind of startup business fees that they need as well, it's really great to kind of help them keep on their feet and keep their kids at home. So although we love Heaven Light, we really hope that she can go back to her Baba and her dad really soon. But if you're interested in sponsoring a child, kind of like what Mailys has done, and really creating a relationship with them, even from a long distance, you can start about $22 a month. Is a partial sponsorship for a child. And this goes to cover everything from school fees to food costs to clothing costs, and really helps make a difference in these kids' lives. And it takes up about 20% of our budget, actually. We have a lot of sponsors, so we're always welcome to have more people jump in. It's a really great way to contribute and to make a connection with people here in Tanzania.
Cool. Awesome. So there's a little button under the screen if you anyone wanted to jump on and like ask a question or come into the chat. I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but you can definitely jump on. Otherwise, we'll transition to the yoga class. So yeah, I'll just give a few seconds if anyone wanted to come and say hello. Otherwise, hello anyway, from a distance. And thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing and for all the amazing work that you're doing there. And thank you so much as well to everyone who's taking the time to be here now. And I hope you enjoy the class. So yeah, just can roll out your mat and find a comfortable seat. And Josh is gonna send out the link to the playlist. I've shared it with most of you, but just in case. Thank you. Okay, so you can press play. And then just take a moment to find a comfortable seat. And without imposing anything on this moment, just starting to feel your body grounding and settling and softening after all the intake of information that you've just received. And if it feels comfortable, you can start to soften the eyes closed. And there's this real sensation as we turn the attention inwards, that whole magnifying glass and internal world that opens up. So welcoming everything that is coming up to the surface, and the sensations in the body, and the emotions. Welcoming all of you in this very moment. And let's unite and taking you all together, a deep breath in through the nose and long breath out through the mouth. One more time, breathe in like the biggest breath that you've taken so far, and you hold the breath at the very, very top and just feeling the pressure starting to build inside the lungs. And then there's a slow exhale and a sense of real release and letting go that happens. Okay, and then there's just this gentle and relaxed breath in and out of the nostrils without any control, so that you can completely allow the shift and the grounding to build and come inside all of you. And one of the beautiful thing that I like about the name, The Small Things. You may have seen it in the video, but it's related to one of the quotes from Mother Teresa that says, "You can do no great things, only small things with great love." And that's really the invitation of the practice this evening or this morning, depending where you are, is to really find this opening into your heart and cultivating the quality of love and compassion in every single moment. It's the doorway to transcend so much. There's so much power to every single action. And then bringing your hands into your heart center, a gentle bow of the forehead down to your hands, just to honor this intention. And if there's anything else that you want to bring in, now is the time. Let's seal it up with just one breath. Deep inhale and exhale to clear. Beautiful. And then gently releasing the hands, cracking your eyes open. And let's start with a couple of stretches for the upper back. And bring the right hand to the sides of the neck, and a gentle pull of the head down, and then start to walk your left fingertips out to the side. And then you should feel a nice stretch into the whole side, left hand side of the arm, the neck. This juicy release that you can feel the places of tension with your breath so that you can dissolve and create space. Good, and then slowly releasing the neck. And then the right hand comes down, and then the left hand reaches up and over. And then you press the hand down and you send your chest to the sky. Keep breathing deeply. Nice. And then slowly the left hand comes down to your knee and the right arm reaches all the way up. I'm realizing that I need to change the mirror. I've been using for the other videos my computer, and it was mirroring, so I didn't need to change the right and left, and I'm realizing now that for you it looks wrong. That's okay, hopefully you get it. So the right hand is all the way up, and you feel a stretch into the whole right hand side of the body. The chin is close to the chest. You breathe so deeply. Nice. And then slowly releasing the right hand down. So both hands are holding the knee. And you can bring your chin close to the chest and breathe all the way up into the upper back. And feel the stretching of the skin into the back of the heart, opening the space of receiving energetically love. Okay, and then releasing the left hand, so keeping the right hand onto your left knee, and then you gently lean back again, and the left arm reaches up. Good. And so the right arm is stretched, and the sitting bones stay grounded, and you just use the leverage of the body to go into places of tightness with gravity. One more breath. Nice. And then the left hand is gonna come down to the earth, the right arm reaches up and over. And then press down with your left hand, turn your chin to the chest, and the chest goes skywards. You're radiating up, and the fingertips reach, expanding the side of the whole right hand side. One more breath here. Good. And then the right hand slowly comes down. The left hand goes to the sides of the neck, and then you find this juicy stretch to finish, walking the fingertips out. Playing with the orientation of the neck here again. Okay, and then slowly releasing. Beautiful. And switching the cross of the legs just for a moment. Okay, and then interlace your hands behind the back. Then move your hands away from your buttocks. Keep squeezing the palms towards one another. You're like trying to crush a nut. And then send your chin all the way up to the sky, finding a stretch into the throat. And then bringing the chin back close to the chest. Keep moving the hands away from the buttocks. And you should find a stretch into the trapezius muscles. Good, and again, start to slowly lift the chin up. And then exhale, the chin comes back down. Nice, and then releasing the arms. And as you inhale, you reach your arms. You're really trying to do the biggest hug, and then flexing the fingers back, 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 stretching the front of the forearms. And as you exhale, like you're curling to the upper back, and you're bringing the hands behind your shoulder blades, like you're giving yourself a hug. And again, inhale to open the chest. Back, back, back. Open wide, stretch the fingers back. And exhale, switching the arms that goes over, giving yourself a big embrace, curling through the upper back. Good. And then releasing the hands. And then just making a little sway, little circles of the torso around the hips, closing the eyes, giving yourself full permission to move here however your body wants to move. Maybe you're bringing in some movements with the neck, the shoulders. There's no right or wrong, just whatever feels good. Okay, and then come onto your knees. So resting the buttocks onto your heels, and then bring your hands together and start to rub your palms towards one another. So it's called the chi rub. And so the chi is the life force, the energy that is inside our body, creating a little bit of heat to stimulate. Okay, and then release. And we're gonna come into a full path Taoist breath. So it's inspired from Qigong, and it's really about cultivating the life force and the chi inside of us. And I just find this movement really beautiful and meditative. So I hope you can drop in the same way. So just watch and come with me for the first time, and then we'll repeat a couple. So as you inhale, it's like you're drawing the energy from the earth all the way up to the heavens on the inhale. And as you exhale, the hands come down through the crown, and you push the energy all the way out and extend your fingertips. Good. And inhale, you swan dive, the back of the hands go down, and it's like you're gathering the energy from the earth. With soft fingers, you're reaching all the way up to the sky. And as you exhale, the hands slowly come down all the way to your lower belly, and grounding the energy back inside yourself. And again, inhale, gather the energy from the universe, the whole inhale. And as you exhale, the hands come down, and then you push the excess that you've gathered out back in the universe. Inhale, swan dive, back of the hands, draw from the earth, and then reaching with soft fingers, up, up, up. And exhale, you ground the energy back into center. Again, inhale, big circle, up. And exhale, radiate out. Inhale, back of the hands, gather from the earth. And exhale to ground down. Inhale to expand sideways, gather everything. And exhale to radiate out. Inhale, swan dive. And exhale, ground back into your center. And one more time, inhale, gather up. And if you can soften the eyes closed and just moving with your breath. Inhale down. And exhale to ground back to your center. Good, and keeping both palms facing your belly and just feeling into the chi moving inside your limbs. So the sense of oscillating, cells dancing, a little pulsating or vibrating, however it's showing up. And just through this full awareness of whatever you've cultivated, being completely alive. And here with you at every point in time. Beautiful. And then slowly coming onto your hands and your knees in a 4-point kneeling position. So the hands are directly under the shoulders and the knees are under the hips. And then start to extend the right leg back and then press the ball of the foot down and feel a big stretch into the right calf. Draw your lower belly in towards the spine and press the floor away so you're not collapsing in your shoulders. And then start to lift the right leg off the floor. And then deep breath in to expand and lengthen the left arm forwards as well. And exhale, move to the side, left leg and arm. Good, and inhale, you come back to the center. And exhale, you curl under the belly, elbow to knee. Inhale to expand. And exhale, move into the diagonal. And inhale back to center. And exhale to curl under. One more time. Inhale, expand. And exhale, move out to the side. And then inhale back to center. And exhale, curl under. Good. And then inhale to expand. And then either stay here or you can bend the right foot and grab a hold of the foot with your left hand. And then press out with your shin back so you can feel a beautiful opening in front of the left shoulder. Good. One more breath here. And then slowly, without slingshotting, with so much control, everything comes back down to the earth. And then inhale, the right arm opens out to the side like a little wing. And as you exhale, the right hand thread under, you rest the right shoulder down, right cheek down. And then you can either extend the left arm to the front of the mat, or you can use your left fingers to press more so you can find more rotation into the upper back. Breathe deeply into the upper thoracic spine. Nice. And then the left hand goes back close to your face. Press into the floor and the right wing opens all the way out. And exhale, hand back to the floor. Beautiful. And start to expand the left leg out this time. And pause here, just making sure that you're not collapsing in your shoulders, so pressing the floor away. Draw your lower belly in so you're feeling the lower back. Nice. And then start to lift the left leg off the floor. And then maybe the right hand reaches forward as well. Take one breath here. And as you exhale, move to the sides. Inhale back to the center. And exhale, curl into nose. Inhale to extend. And exhale, move out to the sides. Inhale back center. And exhale under the belly. One more time. Inhale, extend. And exhale, sides. Inhale, back center. And exhale, curl. Good. And expanding everything and choosing either to stay here or bend the foot. Bend the knee, grab a hold of the foot and press back, back, back. And feeling the opening to the front of the chest. One more breath here. And then slowly coming back down. Left hand opens like a little wing, like you're painting the side wall. Feel this beautiful counter stretch. And then as you exhale, left arm threads under, left cheek comes down to the floor. And then either here, extending the right hand forwards or using it as a lever to twist your upper body more. Good, and then the right hand comes back down. Press the floor away. Inhale, the left arm opens. And exhale down to the floor. Beautiful. And then walking your hands a little bit more forward, start to curl your toes. And then starting to make your way into downward facing dog. So bending one knee after the other, just taking a moment to find all the movements that you need to feel comfortable into the shape. And then maybe that means bringing both heels to the side so that you can find a deep stretch into the whole side body, bending the knees a lot. I love doing that. Maybe you're already ready to find some stillness as well in the center. Okay, and then on the next inhale, you're going to start to roll forwards and find a high plank. So stacking the shoulders over the wrists, and you can definitely bring the knees down if you need. But to build strength a little bit, just for a moment, we're staying here, lengthening the tailbone towards the heels and lifting the front of the hip bones and the pubic bone to the front of the room. One more breath. And as you exhale, slowly deliver both knees down to the earth, super slow, resisting gravity, resist, resist, resist. Nice, and at the same time, they touch. And inhale, drop the belly, open the chest wide, this cow shape. And as you exhale, send your sitting bones back towards your heels, finding active child's pose. Reaching more forward with the fingertips. Forearms stay off the mat and really creating so much length into the torso, feeling the stretch into the back. And one more breath here. Stay for the exhale. Good, and then start to curl, lower, middle, upper back, and find the cat shape. And as you exhale, extend the toes, start to drop the hips down and unfurl the chest. And find, on an inhale, your high cobra. And as you exhale, roll back, downward facing dog. Good, and then start to walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend the knees a lot. And then grab the opposite elbows, releasing your whole weight to gravity. Maybe there's a little sway from side to side. And what we really want here is to completely let go and find a release of the base of the sacrum, the space of the kidney, and breathing fully there. And then maybe there's a little rock side to side or front and back, just playing to where your body is in space. So you can be here, fully present. And then start to releasing the hands down to the earth. Bend the knees and then start to roll yourself up, so slow motion, piece by piece, one bone stacking on top of one another. You come to the very, very top. Big roll of shoulders up, down, and back. Nice. And you're going to start to lift the arms, but the palms are facing down, and slow motion, you gather everything all the way up so that the back of the hands touch at the very, very top. And as you exhale, the hands come down to your heart. And then like an offering, bring your hands forwards and all the way to the earth. Again, inhale to lengthen the chest halfway. And exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up to standing, palms into prayer at the top. And as you exhale, you gather the energy back into your heart. Let's do this again. Inhale, float the arm up with the palms facing down. So you back of the hands touch at the top. And as you exhale, you draw this to your heart. And with this offering, you give everything you have to the earth. And inhale, you lengthen halfway lift, roll the shoulders back. And exhale to fall down. Inhale, gather all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, draws back to your heart. Nice. One more time, just like this. Both arms circle out, the palms are down, back of the hands touch. And exhale to your heart, offering all of who you are. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. And exhale, plant the hands, and then step back into downward facing dog. Good. And then inhale, you're gonna roll forwards and find high plank pose. And exhale again, so slow motion, drop the knees down to the earth. Resist, resist, resist. Drop the belly and then inhale, chest opens, cat, cow shape. And as you exhale, sitting bones to the heels, active child's pose. Inhale, curl, lower, middle, upper back. And exhale, point the toes, drop the hips, and furl the chest. Inhale, open, cobra pose. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. Good, and then inhale, slowly the right leg starts to lift off the floor. Keep the leg really straight. And the big toe is pointing down, and then the inner thigh rolls towards the sky. One more breath here. And as you exhale, keep your knee to your chest. Hold. Can you bring the heel higher to your butt? Can you press more into your hands? And then step the foot in between your hands. Good. And back knee drops to the earth. Inhale, both arms circle all the way up to the sky. And as you exhale, you pour your arms to the sides as you lunge deep into the legs. Two more like this. Inhale, you pulse out. And as you exhale, you boom your heart open. One more. Inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, radiate through your heart. Good. Come out of the lunge a little bit so that the hip is directly over the knee. And then interlace your hands behind the back. Move your hands away. And then see if you can send your chest into a tiny little gap in here. And then if it feels safe, you can start to drop the hands down and open your heart even more. One more breath here. Slowly coming back to the center. And inhale, both arms circle forwards. And as you exhale, both hands reach back. And you extend the front leg. Floating Hanuman. So the hands reach back. Right hip draws back. Left hip draws forward. Peeling the toes towards your face. One more breath here. And stay for the exhale. Maybe you can soften down a little bit more. And inhale, lunge back, and both arms float up. Curl the toes back, and exhale, our head lift out of the back knee, coming into a lunge with both hands reaching back. It's like you're hitchhiking, so your thumbs are rolling up, palms are facing forwards. Stay low into the leg and feel all the sensations building into the right thigh. And inhale, both arms again, reach up for a little crescent lunge. Maybe there's a tiny back bend. And as you exhale, both arms reach back, our head again. Right hand comes up to the sacrum. Inhale, open into warrior two. Land deeply into the lunge. So making sure that the front heel is intersecting with the middle of the back arch. And keep pressing firmly into the edge of the left foot. So you're trying to lift the inner arch. Can you go a little bit deeper and soften your shoulders away from the ears? And let's pause here. So as you inhale, you gather the energy from the earth all the way up to your heart as you extend to the leg. And as you exhale, you ground everything back down. Two more. Inhale, together, up. And exhale to release and ground. One more time. Inhale, up. And exhale, this time you radiate and you expand it outwards. Good, and then flip the palm, reverse, reach back, feel the opening into your right hand side. And then cut with your hands, frame the front foot, step back, high plank. Good, one breath here. And then exhale, slow motion, deliver both knees at the same time down to the floor. like little pebbles in a pond. Nice. Inhale, drops the belly, chest opens wide. And exhale, sink your hips towards your heels. Inhale to curl, lower, middle, upper back. And exhale, tops of the feet press. Drop the hips and furl the chest. Big inhale to open into your back bend. And exhale back into downward facing dog. And then both feet come together at the back of the mat. Inhale, slowly the left leg slowly rises up and back. And as you exhale, stay. Keep dropping the left hip down. Inner thighs roll in. One more breath. And exhale, curl your knee to your chest and hold. Press more down to the upper back. Left heel to the back. One more breath. And step it through between your hands. Nice. Back knee drops down to the earth. Inhale, both arms reach. And exhale, pouring your heart through your hands. Two more. Inhale to lift and find the lightness. And as you exhale, this blooming sensation, full body opening. One more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lunge. Good. Interlacing the fingers behind the back. Moving out of the lunge just a little and opening to your chest. And one more deep breath here. And then maybe you can lean back. However feels comfortable here. Keeping the breath soft and smooth. And then inhale, both arms go back up. Curl the back towards, and as you exhale, arrowhead. Come high into your lunge. You're drawing the left hip back, right hip forwards. Can you go a little bit deeper into your legs? And inhale, both arms float all the way up into the sky. Find a tiny back bend. And exhale, both arms reach back, arrowhead. Nice. Left hand comes onto the sacrum. Slow motion, back foot spins flat into 90 degrees, and you're opening your arms, landing in warrior two. Dancing the feet so that you feel in your right position. Keep pressing the other edge of the right foot. And inhale, both hands come to the center this time. This drawing in sensation of the energy to your heart. And as you exhale, you expand everything outwards. Two more. Inhale, like you're moving through honey. You're gathering so much strength to your heart. And as you exhale, you're ready to give some back to the universe. One more time. Inhale to gather to your center. And you exhale to give back. Flip the front palm, reverse. And then cartwheel your hands. Frame the front foot, step back, high plank. Good. And inhale, chest comes forward. In slow motion, both knees come down to the earth. Inhale, belly drops down, chest opens wide, cow. And exhale, sitting bones to your heels, active child. Inhale to curl, lower, middle, upper back. And exhale, point the toes, drop the hips. Inhale and furrow the chest, feel a beautiful opening. And exhale, roll back, downward facing dog. And staying in a downward facing dog just for a few breaths. Good. And we're going to move through that flow one more time, a little bit quicker, with one breath, one movement. So dance the feet back together at the back of the mat. And inhale, the right leg slowly rises up and back. And exhale, tiger curl, knee to your chest. Step the foot in between your hands. Back knee drops down. Inhale, arms reach. And exhale, open your hands to the side. Inhale, back out, interlace your hands behind the back. And exhale, gentle lean back. Inhale, both arms reach forwards. And exhale, curl your toes, arrowhead. Inhale, both arms forwards and up, crescent lunge. And exhale, arms reach back, arrowhead again. Right hand onto the sacrum. Inhale, open. And exhale, land into warrior two. Inhale, energy draws from the base to the heart. And exhale, push it back down. Forward the front palm, reverse on an inhale. And exhale, cartwheel your hands. Step back, high plank. Inhale, chest comes forwards and slow motion, both knees drop. Inhale, belly drops down, chest opens wide. And exhale, active child. Inhale, curl, lower middle, upper back. And exhale, drop the hips. Inhale, chest lifts. Cobra. And exhale, back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg fully rises. And exhale, tiger curl into your chest. Step the foot in between your hands. Back knee drops. Inhale, both arms reach up. And exhale, radiate your heart. Nice. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, interlace your hands. Find a gentle back bend. Inhale, both arms reach. And exhale, curl your toes. Arrowhead the arms. Inhale, crescent. And exhale, the arms float back, arrowhead. Left hand onto the sacrum. Inhale, open. Exhale, land into warrior two. Inhale the energy to your heart. And exhale to radiate out. Flip from palm reverse. And cut with your hands down. Step back, high plank. One more breath here. And exhale, both knees down to the floor. Inhale, belly drops down. And exhale, active styles. Inhale, curl, lower middle, upper back. Exhale, point the toes, drop the hips. Inhale, chest lifts. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. Good, and then walk your hands back to your feet. Open your feet as wide as the mat, and then come into Malasana, Yogic squat. And then use your elbows to press against your knees and open through the chest. And then the left hand is going to come down, and the right arm reaches up. Opening through the chest, and the chin stays close to the chest, so the back of the neck stays long. And you can either stay here or bend the upper arm and then grab a hold of your left hip. And then you can either stay here or wrap the left hand behind and grab a hold of the fingers that are just there, so you can really completely open the chest. And this may not be accessible for you, so really just be wherever you are today. Keep breathing, feel the breath full all these areas of the body, even if they feel compressed. And then slowly release. The right hand comes down, and then this time the left arm reaches up. And then again, doing the same. So the first variation is to drop the left hand to your right hip crease. And then maybe you can bind the arm wrapping behind and grabbing a hold of the fingers so you can open the chest a little bit more. And then breathing deeply and softly. Okay. And then slowly release. And last few seconds, walk your fingertips as far forward as you can and drop the neck as far as you can. And you should feel a beautiful stretch from the base of the sacrum even to your forehead. And breathe so deeply into the lower back. Nice. And then bring the hands down to the floor and start to walk your feet towards one another. Great. And then as you inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. And then you can walk your feet on top of your hands. You can bend the knees as much as you need so that it happens. And then use the compression of the toes to your hip, your wrist crease to completely relax. Bring more weight forward. And feel your whole back body drag down. This little gorilla shape. Parahastasana. Good. And then slowly releasing the grip and inhale, lengthen halfway. Bring your hands to your waist. Press the flesh of the hips back with your thumb and then start to roll yourself all the way up. Good. And as you arrive, both arms circle all the way up. Grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Inhale, up, up, up. And exhale, reach to your left. And then keep sending your hips to your right. And inhale, you're back to the center. And then switching the grip. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, switch to the side. Okay, and then inhale back to the center. And then release the arms down. And inhale, come high onto your tippy toes, like a little ballerina. And then like you're leaning against the wall, you're gonna start to drop your hips into, like you're sitting into your chair. Keep coming up high onto your heels. Nice, and now just staying here for a few moments. And then go all the way down into the floor. Okay. And extend the arms back. Keep the lower belly drawing in. And then slow motion. Resisting gravity again. Can you hold halfway? Draw your lower belly towards the spine and extend your fingertips to the front. Just a gentle core activation. One more breath. And then slow motion, release all the way down to the earth. Ah, nice. Bring the soles of the feet closer to your fingertips. And let's do a couple of pulsating bridges. So as you inhale, you start to lift the hips off the floor and the arms follow all the way up to the sky. And as you exhale, both the hands and the hip go down to the floor, but you're really trying to feel every little vertebrae along the way connecting. Again, inhale, start from the lower, middle, and upper back, floating the arm all the way up to the sky. And as you exhale, everything comes back down. Nice. And then one more inhale, start to lift, lower, middle, upper back. And then this time the hips stay high, but the hands come back down alongside the body. Good. And then can you shimmy your shoulders under and then interlace your hands under the bottoms. And then press into your heels more so that your hips can go higher. But notice if you're gripping your glutes, can you reduce the activation of the glutes and bring all the strength into the legs. And you're kind of trying to have the sensation that you're holding a block in between your thighs as well. So your knees come together. Keep pressing more into your heels. Can you lift even higher, higher, higher? Nice. And then super slow motion. Release everything back down to the earth. Okay, and then open your feet as wide as the mat and the knees knock into the center. One hand onto your heart, one hand onto your belly. Just to feel all the sensations. Okay, and we're going to stay on our backs for the next couple of stretches. So the right feet stays down, the left ankle comes over. Left foot is flexed, and then try to grab a hold of the back right thigh of the shin bone. And the action is that you try to draw your right knee to your chest, and then you try to press the left knee out. So it's this counter sensation, pressing forwards and back at the same time. Breathing so deeply and fully into the sensations that occur into the left hip. Let's see if you can soften anything into the shoulders, the jaw. Good, and then the right sole of the foot comes down, and the left leg is reaching up, so the heel is trying to reach to the sky, the toes peel towards your face. And keeping the leg as straight as you can, so maybe it's a little bit further away, wherever it is, keeping as straight as you can. And then if it's close enough and you have the space to grab the back of the leg, but without any compromise on the straightness of the leg, if you can. And keeping the backs of the shoulders connected to the earth. And okay, and then drag your left knee to your chest, extend the right leg, and squeeze the left knee to your left rib cage. And then shimmy your hips a little bit to your left, and then drop the left knee to your right, to this twist, supine twist. And you can use your right hand to guide the left knee further down if it's appropriate, but see if you can keep both shoulders connected to the ground. So it's more important for the shoulders to stay connected rather than for the knee to go all the way down. So maybe it's just a little bit floating. And if you need a bit of support, you can use your right knee to put your left ankle on so that the leg has a bit more support. And breathe to your full capacity into the lower belly. Okay, and then inhale, slowly you're going to come back to center. And then let's just switch sides. So the right ankle is going to come over the left knee and then draw your leg to your chest. And as you keep drawing your left knee to your chest, you keep pressing the right knee out, away from you. Okay, and then the left foot is going to come down and the right leg starts to extend to the ceiling. And reaching the heel towards the sky, the toes towards your face. Good, and then start to bend the right leg and extend the left leg. Draw your right knee to your right armpit. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then moving into the supine twist with the right knee dropping to your left. Breathing deeply into the lower belly. Good, and then inhale, you come back to the center. And then draw both knees to your chest. And then knees a little sway from side to side. Little circles, so you feel a little massaging sensation of the lower back. And then rock forwards and back. Forwards and back until you land back into your seat. Good. And let's have two options here. So either coming into butterfly and releasing the forearms and the forehead comes down towards the floor. Or you can come into dragonfly, the legs extended and then slowly making your way down towards the earth. So whatever feels most appropriate for you in this very moment. Of course, butterfly is probably more of a yin variation, a softer variation. But if you crave the stretching in the inner sides of the legs, dragonfly is also a beautiful option. So wherever you chose to be, just allowing your full self to drop and allow the breath to be guided in all these parts of the body that need it and feel a little bit of tension. It's really using the breath and the full body awareness as the tool to help us to soften and stay. And go a little bit deeper, breath after breath, into the experience of ourselves. And these longer holds also really an opportunity for all these little emotions and the map of the inner body to come into alignment. And the breath is really there to, just like the wind blowing on the clouds, to help us move these things away. With every out breath, there's a true sense of release and surrender and letting go that happens. Just noticing where your mind goes when you're not moving as much, and as the stillness comes, can you just gently guide the attention back to the breath and the sensations that you experience in your body, rather than being swayed by all the thoughts that may be popping up. It's a lifelong practice. It's often told as, it's like you're taking a little child by the hand and guiding him back onto the path with so much compassion and love that you've actually noticed, that you follow the thread of the story or the thoughts. And just a sense of yourself breathing, extension and the contraction of the lungs, sense of lift and surrender of the chest with the breath in and out is all you need to focus on.